Hey, what's up, everyone? This is Carlos from Hybrid Records, and I'm here to talk about all of the records that I found and picked up and added to my collection in the month of January. Coming up. So in no particular order. The first record, this is Chromeo, Head Over Heels. Canadian Funk Lords, legendary, Funk Forever, When We Die We're All Gonna Stink. Dave One and P Thug there. Such a good record, so funky. It's got features from Dram. The French Montana one's not that bad. The Dream is on here. But yeah, some of my favorite tracks, Must Have Been, Don't Sleep, Count Me Out, Right Back Home to You, Bedroom Calling, and it ends with Room Service, which is an absolute banger. So everyone should have a copy of this. I really want to do it for a record of the month for the Hybrid Record Club, but I've been having a hard time finding a wholesaler that has like a lot of copies of this in stock. This is Video Age Pop Therapy, recent band, but like 80s synth pop lushness. The January pick for the Hybrid Record Club. It's a really good record that reminds me of a lot of different things. It appropriately follows me showing the Chromeo record because I discovered this band after I finished listening to that Chromeo record in the car, and the radio came up and the first track from this record played, and I was like, yo, what is this? This is crazy. And I saw it and I was like, okay, this has to be how we start off 2021 for the Hybrid Record Club. So that's a good one. Alright, this next one I'm going to try to hit a few in a row because it's on theme. If you watched my vinyl tag video, records that I'm looking for in 2021 are the Talking Heads discography. And actually, now that I'm looking at these, I'm missing one, but I picked up More Songs About Buildings and Food. It's an original pressing. I picked up Speaking in Tongues. I had picked up the Rhino Start Your Ear Off Right version on the blue colored vinyl, and I didn't care for that pressing a ton, and literally like 2 days later I found this. This is a Columbia Record Club pressing from the year of release, 83 I think. So pick that one up. And then David Byrne's American Utopia. You should watch American Utopia on HBO Max if you haven't already. It's fantastic. Concert film directed by Spike Lee. I picked up the album. I was going to pick up the Broadway cast recording of the show, but I got them in and I sold all of them, and so I need to reorder some copies of that for myself. The record I'm missing that I accidentally left at the shop is Talking Heads 77. I also picked that one up. So really, as far as Talking Heads stuff goes, the ones I'm really looking for now are Remain in Light and Fear of Music. This next string of records are all funky, DJ Jello Shot recommended records that I bought for DJing purposes. This one is by a band called Sky. It's called Skyline. It's a really good like disco kind of boogie record. It has the second track on it is called Call Me, and it is so good. I played it on my last Wax Wednesday live stream, and I try not to repeat stuff too much and not fall into the trappings of playing the same stuff that I like over and over again. I try to mix it up as much as possible, but it's gonna be really hard for me to not play Call Me every single time I do a DJ live stream. So this record's good. To continue the theme of DJ stuff, Jimmy Castor Bunch, Super Sound, really great funky record. He's most known for the song Troglodyte, and the record that song is on is great, but some of his other stuff is good as well. Here's another one, But Of Course. This one has the Birth of Butt Boogie on it, which is a banger, great for DJ sets. So to completely change gears, the next two actually come to me courtesy of my friend Devin, shop regular, shop rat extraordinaire, good guy. But this one is I talked about it on my best of 2020, or I talked about the band on my best of 2020, but this is Wolftooth's first album, self-titled. The 2020 record, Valhalla, is really, really great. Super polished production, really great songs, but this one is slightly more raw, slightly less sheen on it, and I think it's really dope, and it's a great record, and you know, it doesn't hurt that it's on the red colored vinyl. We love the colored vinyl, so that's a good one. And then this one, I like this band quite a bit, but this is by and large my favorite record of theirs. This is Baroness, Yellow and Green. It's a great record. Take My Bones Away is a killer way to start off the Yellow side. But the green theme, the fucking green theme, it starts off with this really like, these really pretty like reverb kind of shimmering guitars, and then this snare kick combo that goes into the full band coming in. When you hear that first snare, it just has this crack and this boom to it, and it's such an epic way to go from this like really pretty part to a heavier, more distorted part. And by and large, the green side, the green LP is, you know, prettier than the yellow, which is heavier and darker and stuff, but really great record. And I was lucky enough that this one came on the really dope splatter color, yellow and green splatter, so I'm very, very happy to own this record finally. Really stoked to add that to the collection. Thank you, Devin, for those. This next one is by an icon. PJ Harvey Is This Desire. I wrote about this on our website under the blog section. We've been doing, or I've been doing some reviews. I'm not super familiar with anything past her first 3 records. So when this one was getting reissued, I picked up the first 3 already, so I'm just going to keep going and get them all. But man, this record is really, really, really good. And this pressing is fantastic. The lacquer cut and master for vinyl that they did is just tremendous, and really, 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 really is a must-own if you're into the vibe that PJ Harvey has, which if you're not, what the fuck is wrong with you? Get this record, get into her work. It's so very, very good. Very excited to have this, especially such a great pressing of it. All right, the next one is an upgrade copy. Is a record I already had. I had gotten it quite a while before I started doing stuff on this channel, so I hadn't discussed it. But I had gotten this record. This is a classic jazz record. I had gotten it on the Wax Time label, which, as we all know, is not the highest quality as far as their pressings and masters and master sourcing and all that kind of stuff goes. So when a legitimate reissue of this came into the shop, I knew I had to swap them out. Really, the price difference isn't super high. I think this is like a 2007 reissue, or I don't know. It's pretty recent, and it's pretty recent relative to this album, but I had to get a better copy of it. This is Art Blakey and the Jazz Messengers, often referred to as Moanin' for the album title. I mean, come on, you guys know about this. I don't think there's anything that I can say about this record that hasn't already been said. What I can say about it is that I'm very glad to have a quality pressing in my collection. Definitely some jazz stuff I need to add. I don't have. I need some Charlie Mingus in my life. I don't have a ton of John Coltrane. I don't have a ton of Miles Davis. I don't have any Pharoah Sanders. That's a crime against humanity. I need to add some of that. So that was a good one. This one, oh man, me and this record have a very intimate relationship with one another. That is a story I will not get into on this channel. If you know me, we may have talked about it before. Randy Holden, Population 2. I just really like stoner doom stuff, and I'm sure people will dispute that classification for this record, but it's definitely kind of doomy, definitely very stoner rock ish. Obviously this record originally came out before all of that, but it's really good. This one is signed by him. I ordered some copies for the shop through a distributor that handles the Riding Easy label, but it's on that cool colored vinyl. We love to see it. And so, yeah, definitely had to snag a copy for myself. Overall, it sounds great. And I'm really, really happy to have it, because what are the odds I'm ever going to find an original? Probably will never happen. All right, let's get to the rest. Georgia Ann Muldrow, Overload. Really great record. Georgia Ann Muldrow is a producer extraordinaire, great vocalist as well. Love her stuff. This record is fantastic. I had copies of it whenever it originally came out back in, 2018. It's on the Brain Feeder label and was executive produced by Flying Lotus, Aloe Black, and Dudley Perkins. It's crazy good. Pick it up if you like hip-hop, R&B, soul, jazz kind of stuff. Black Sabbath, self-titled. Olive green label, original US press. This copy's pretty freaking cooked, but it still plays pretty well, and it's only noisy in some parts. Wasn't quite up to par with stuff I would want to sell in the shop, so I kept that one. I have very little Sabbath in my collection just because it sells so well, and I don't see older pressings of it very often. So it's really hard for me to convince myself to keep it whenever it comes through, but they are one of my favorite bands of all time, and so I really need to at least get the first 6 at some point. I have this and Masters of Reality, also a pretty cooked copy, but again, plays fairly well. So if anyone ever wants to send me some Sabbath records, let me know. Jive Turkey's Bread and Butter on the Coal Mine label. This is considered a side project. I believe it's the guy who started Coal Mine. If this is your side project, I want to hear what your real band said. This record is amazing. It's so funky and so good. If you go on Discogs right now and look for this, you're going to see people asking 100, 150, 175. Don't pay that much for it. That's ridiculous. I added it to my want list, and on 2 separate occasions I saw it pop up in the $40, $45 range, and the second time I was quick enough and able to grab it. Also, I've realized, talking to people in the shop recently, I have a serious problem. I have reached the point in my vinyl collecting where $100 for a record does not seem unreasonable to me anymore, and that's bad. $100 is a lot of money for a record. I don't know what's wrong with me. Another one that came in a collection recently, St. Vincent Mass Seduction. I had a copy of this when it first came out. It was in this like polybag thing with like a cover that was like basically a booklet, and I think it was on pink vinyl. And I had sold it at some point. I get into these phases where I go through my collection, and if I see something that I haven't played in a while, I'll convince myself that it's time to get rid of it and give it to somebody that will play it. But what I don't think about when I get into those moods is that at a certain point in time, I will be reminded of that record, and I'll be really sad that I don't have it. And that's exactly what happened with this one. When the Song Exploder series came out on Netflix, and I watched the Dua Lipa episode, and the Killers one too, I was like, man, I haven't listened to that podcast in a while. So I went back and I listened to St. Vincent's episode about the song New York. And I was listening to that episode and her talk about that song. And I was like, what the fuck? This song is so good. This record is incredible, despite what some other people may say about it. And Annie Clark is a god. Like, artistically, from a guitar playing perspective, from just like a human perspective, I love her so much, and her records are so great. She really embodies what it is to be an artist in a way that a lot of people in this like late stage capitalist shitstorm that we find ourselves in don't. And she really is just so authentic and true to her vision and willing to take chances and try new things and push the boundaries of what it is that she does in a way that not a lot of people do. This is a Vinyl Me Please pressing, which I have my qualms about, just them as a company. But it's, you know, it's on colored vinyl, and this one sounds pretty good. This is one of their better works, I would say. And so I'm definitely very glad to have that. This is one I've been looking for quite some time. Another icon, Kim Shattuck. This is the Muffs, Blonder and Blonder. Incredible 90s record that has some kind of like 60s garage mod kind of influences on it. Every song on this record is good. Every song rips, and she just has this howl to her voice, and her songwriting and everything about it is amazing. And I finally was able to find an original pressing of this for under $100. I think I got this one for like $55. It's an original first US pressing on the red clear vinyl. They even went and did the tricolor reprise logo from back in the day on it, which is really dope. I always like it when newer pressings throw back to the older aesthetic of a certain record label. All right, only a few more left. This video has already gone on longer, I think, than I intended. Zack Sabbath, Zakk Wylde and company, covering the first Black Sabbath album, which I showed earlier, which I probably should have showed together now that I think about it. But like I said, these were in no particular order. This is a really good record. Purple vinyl. He does a really good job. I mean, he played with Ozzy for so long, like he knows how to do the songs well. But yeah, I mean, it's pretty dope. It's on Magnetic Eye Records. They do a lot of cool Sabbath worship stuff. Volume 4 Redux, I think, being the most recent. And then they did like a Greatest Hits covers album as well. And so that was cool. And last but not least is one that I was very excited about when I got it, but has turned out to be a little disappointing. This is John Prine's first album. It's the Vinyl Me Please exclusive. We were in the shop, and also shouts out to Roland for coming through on the Zack Sabbath. Forgot to mention that, but homie secured that for me for a decent price. When he brought that record to me, we were talking, and we were talking about how crazy the value on original pressings of this first John Prine record have gotten. And there was a guy kind of minding his own business in the shop, and after a while he came up to the counter and said, hey, I've got a John Prine record I'm interested in selling. Would you be interested in buying it? And I was like, oh yeah, is it an original? And he was like, oh, it's a Vinyl Me Please. I just got it today, actually, and I'm just looking to get rid of it. Brought it in. I traded him this for the Vinyl Me Please version of Phoenix album, Wolfgang Amadeus, whatever. And I was really stoked. I was so stoked that the next day when I came into work, I grabbed my 2020 Rhino reissue of this album that I had, and I put it out, sold it, and then I listened to this, and I wish that I would have kept my Rhino repressing, because the pressing on this one is just not that great. Side A for the most part is great. Side B, a lot of it is great. But by the time that last song on side B kicks in, I mean, it sounds like it is being put through a big muff or like a fuzz pedal of some point or of some sort. It just sounds bad, really bad. And if it weren't the last song, I'd probably just get up and take it off or whatever. But by the end of the side, I'm just like, I might as well just get through it. But I'm never like happy about it. And I thought that I'm not somebody that needs an original pressing of anything, but with this one now, I'm just gonna have to wait until I can find an original for a decent price and decent condition, because the quality of this one just isn't doing it for me. And I'm glad that I bought it from somebody who's a member, because if I were a member paying like $42 a month that they're charging now or something, and this is what I got for that amount of money, this one record is what I got for $40, I would be livid if I got such a low quality pressing for that amount of money. And it sucks because John Prine is one of the greatest American songwriters ever to live, and he doesn't deserve some half-assed pressing like this, you know. Like, sure, it's got like the gold foil, or it's got the foil print, it's not gold, but the foil where it says John Prine, it's on colored vinyl, which I guess is like the gimmick that they're hoping you're gonna fall for and be like, oh yeah, colored vinyl, great, like that's all I need. And it's got an art print in it too that, like, you know, I would like to frame at some point. But just for the money, there needs to be more quality control than that. I know it's hard because you're trying to give people an exclusive pressing of something every month, but something's got to give where, like, if you get a product back that doesn't sound good, you can't send it out. Like, I don't know. It's disappointing. I was really excited when I got it. And I thought maybe when I played it, it was just the first time, or there was like a lot of static, or, you know, whatever. But I hit it with the anti-stat gun. I cleaned it. I've played it several times, and every single time the same thing happens. But all that being said, I think that January was a pretty killer month for record buying for me. February's already gotten off to a good start as well, so I'm pretty stoked about that. What did you pick up in January? What were your best finds? I want to hear about them, unless you bought like a $500 record for 50 cents. I don't want to hear about that. Don't fucking brag. Keep that shit to yourself. I'm just kidding. I do kind of want to hear about it. But let me know in the comment section. Let me know if you have strong disagreements about this John Prine record that I expressed very strong opinions about. Or, you know, if there's anything that you think I would like that maybe I haven't heard of based on the stuff that I picked up this month. But anyway, we will see you next time. I don't know. I don't have a sign off for this yet. So, see you later.